All right, let's check out North Melbourne's centre clearance work. And this is a big reason why they got into the game. Look at that, okay? Davies Uniacke, beautiful handball. Okay, then we get a beautiful inside 50. So how do they do it and what roles do these players play? Because they've all got a little part to play in this. So number one, okay, we're going to look at Davies Uniacke, the go-to player, all right? And he's there, and we saw the path that he ran. Number two, then we're going to look at the blocker, okay? He plays a pivotal role to create space for Uniacke. And number three, then we look at the sweeping role. And he's there for defensive cover in case Melbourne hit that ball forward. So they've all got their roles there and they're very aware of that before the centre bounce. So firstly, we'll look at the blocker. Have a look at what this player does. He works Oliver right inside the contest, okay? And you can see he actually pushes him, okay? And Oliver's out of that. Why does he do it? Because he knows that Uniacke, the go-to player, okay, he's coming on this path and this is where the space is. And he wants to create space right here for Uniacke, okay? And that's what happens. Uniacke gets the ball and he is out, okay? So really good play for it there from the blocker and the go-to player. What is the sweeper doing? Okay, so the sweeper assumes his role just at the back, okay, and he's covering there in case that tap comes out forward of the play. Okay, so he just assumes the sweeping role and he's covering there, and he also keeps Viney out of it to allow Uniacke to run his pattern. So really good play from the Kangaroos. They've all got their role. Now, Cherry plays a big role, obviously, as the ruckman. You can see his body position there. He's almost giving away where he's going to tap it, and that's there. And they both get a bit of a hand on it, the rucks there. But Uniacke is positioned beautifully, okay, to get that centre clearance. So great one from North Melbourne. We'll show you a few others and the reasons why they got back into the game. All right, check out the score. North Melbourne are surging back. Okay, all the momentum's on their side, and they get that easy clearance, another centre clearance from Sheasel, and they're away and they can lock it in their forward half. So how do they do it? This one's a little bit easier than the previous one, and it's basically a game of Russian roulette. If you look here, if North Melbourne win the ball, they hit it backwards to their sweeper. If Melbourne win the ball, they hit it backwards to their sweeper, and you probably win the clearance. What happens? Okay, North Melbourne won the tap. And there it is. And all it is how much of the pie you're owning. So if you look here, North Melbourne are owning all this pie here, okay? Whereas Melbourne have got a little bit of a smaller pie, okay? And they're owning this part and that part there. So the more pie you own, the greater chance you are to win it. But of course, you need to get that ruck tap. And it was a really good tap from North Melbourne's ruckman and a bit of a game of Russian roulette. If I was Melbourne, I would not be setting up like this at this stage of the game. They needed to, get the game back on their terms, and they didn't. Okay, and they nearly lost the game. So lessons to be learned from Melbourne and some really encouraging signs from the Kangas. And the last one we're going to look at, have a look at the score. The Kangas are surging back and they get another clearance here. So have a look at this, beautiful ruck work. And there it is again, Davies Uniacke, okay, gets it out to Sheasel and they get another clearance. So they were just doing it on really repeat there in the last quarter. How did they do it? Now it's all Davies Uniacke here. You can see these players here, they've got their role, but they don't want to get involved too much. They want to leave this space for Uniacke to work in. And they've done a pretty good job. Simpkin didn't block all that well. But watch Uniacke here, okay? The separation he gets is enough. So that there, that little stiff arm right there, okay, that was enough to create separation. And that's all you need, is that little bit of separation, and then he's away. And then he can look for a handball, okay, and Sheasel gets the ball, all right? So really simple one there, very similar pattern, and it's obviously the same go-to player again with these two playing their roles, although they did not do them as strong as they've let those blokes come in a little bit close. They probably need to hold them out a little bit more with their body position. But again, really good pattern from the go-to player. Great ruck work from Cherry. Too strong for Gawn. Okay, and then the Kangas again, okay, getting the ball in their forward half from centre bounce.